Root of all problems, reason for all evils, destroyer of relationship. These are some of the wrong terms associated with much important aspect of our lives. It's money. Over centuries, money has changed its form from goods in the barter system to paper in our wallets to numbers glowing on our digital screens. I am Jaideep Padalwar, author of Engineering the Australian Dream and host of your podcast show Life Unplugged with Jaideep. Today, we will be unplugging life of our common desires. Money. This desire connects us all. The concept of wealth is now materialized into money. Before banks, before coins, before greed, there was barter. A fisherman traded his catch for a farmer's grain. A potter exchanged clay bowls for wool. It was simple, fair, but fragile because value depended on need. If a farmer didn't want a fish that day, the fisherman went hungry. So humans did what they do the best. They invented. They invented trust. They began using objects everyone agreed had worth: shells, salt, stones, even cattle. These weren't just goods, these were symbols of belief. And in that moment, money was born, not as wealth, but as agreement. It wasn't greed that created it, it was cooperation. Money became the bridge between effort and opportunity. It allowed a farmer to dream beyond his field, a craftsman to imagine beyond his village. Money became freedom in motion. As societies grew, so did ambition. Metal replaced shells, durable, valuable, eternal. Gold, silver, copper carried weight not just in trade but in meaning. Rulers stamped their faces on coins, a message of authority. A coin wasn't just currency, it was propaganda. It whispered, "Trust me, trust my rule." Empires flourished on that belief. Rome, Greece, Persia, China all used coins to unite vast lands under one identity. But the truth remained the same. Money was still only as powerful as the trust behind it. When trust faded, coins turned to dust. Then came a new chapter, a revolution not fought with words but with symbols. When Genghis Khan's army rode across Asia in the 13th century, they didn't just conquer cities, they connected civilizations. From the deserts of Persia to the walls of China, trade flowed faster than ever before. And with it came a question only a visionary ruler could ask. Genghis Khan asked, "Why carry gold when power can travel lighter than the sword?" Genghis Khan understood something profound. The real strength wasn't in metal or armies, but in the belief people shared. He laid the foundation for a system built not on fear, but on trust. The invisible kind that makes trade possible between strangers. Decades later, his grandson Kublai Khan would turn that idea into reality. As the ruler of Yuan dynasty, he stood before his court and held up a single sheet of bark paper. He asked, he said, "From this day, this paper shall hold the same worth as gold." The empire's promise gives it value, and the empire never breaks its word. The courtiers were silent, some doubted, but the decree spread across China and beyond. One of the advisors asked, "Your Majesty, will the merchants accept such a thing?" Kublai Khan replied, "They will, because they fear my law. But they will continue because they trust its power." And they did. Co- the great Khan's paper money, the Chow, became the first empire wide fiat currency. Refusing to use it was punishable by death. Acceptance was guaranteed not by coins but by confidence. When Marco Polo arrived in China years later, he was astonished by what he saw. Marco Polo, in awe, said, "In all the world, I have never seen people turn bark into wealth. It is as if the Khan breathes value into the very air." That was the birth of belief as currency. From then on, money was no longer tied to what you could touch, but to what you could trust. And that idea, born from Mongol vision of unity, would echo for centuries, shaping the modern world's faith in printed notes, digital balances, and the invisible power of confidence. Centuries passed, and paper spread west. Kings printed notes, banks rose, promises multiplied, money detached further from the tangible. It became words, then numbers, then light. Today, it travels silently through code and cables, flashing between the accounts faster than thought, invisible, weightless, borderless. And yet, the story remains the same. Money exists only as long as humans agree it does. A number on a screen carries no meaning until someone somewhere believes it can buy something real. The more abstract it becomes, the more it reveals a truth older than empires. That value lives not in the thing, but in the trust behind it. For all its brilliance, money casts a long shadow. It began as a servant, but somewhere it learned to rule. Created to trade, it soon learned to tempt. It whispered to humankind, "Just a little more," and we listened. Greed replaced gratitude, desire replaced peace. The tool became the master. Empire were built for it, wars were fought over it, families broke under it, not because money demanded it, but because people forgot who were serving. But because people forgot who they were serving. Money doesn't love or hate. It has no pulse, no conscience, no conscience. Yet, it can turn generosity into transaction and compassion into currency. They say money is the root of all evil, but it isn't. Money has no roots, only reflections. It grows where fear grows. It blooms where desire blooms. It isn't evil, it is obedient. It goes wherever humans' hearts want to send it. It goes wherever human hearts send it. So it keeps moving from hand to hand, heart to heart, building hospitals and funding wars, feeding children and destroying forests. The choice was never money's, it was always ours. Humanity Humanity both loves and resents money. It grants freedom, yet chains the soul. It builds comfort, yet breeds comparison. To some, money is safety, a shelter from chaos. To others, it's noise, a distraction from meaning. The paradox is eternal. People chase it, fear it, envy it, and yet cannot live without it. Money is the mirror of mankind, showing not who we are, but what we value. And so, as the world continues to spin, money remains silent, patient, powerful. It changes form, but never purpose. It reflects every age, every desire, every fear. It has seen barter, bronze, paper, pixels. and it will see what comes next. But beneath all its transformation, one truth stays untouched. Money is a story humans tell to make sense of value, a story that began with trust and must one day end with wisdom. Because the question isn't what money is worth, it's what we are worth without it. This is Life Unplugged with Jaideep, where even money